butchered every night. All the dudes just.
No, I know. Yeah, music. What is up? Oh, what is up?
What up, fellas?
Come on.
How we doing, fellas? Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year. Fire. Little good Monday slate as we wind down the year before kids going on break. Trevor, Elliot, how we doing, my friends?
Not too bad. Excited for a break to hit. I'm ready for a few days off of work and everything and just relaxing and taking it easy, but not a bad Monday to start the week.
No, not a bad Monday at all. Elliot, welcome back as well, too. I'm glad to have you back. Trevor and I, we're holding it down on a good old Sunday night episode. Kind of was a up and down kind of day for me, win one, lose one type of day after a fire weekend. But we're going to be profitable, I believe, as we have one game remaining, sitting at 11-9 or 10-9, or excuse me, 11-9. So one game left. So slight profit after a profitable weekend, but we're sitting at 42 units on the year. So continuing rolling. Can't believe we're already at almost 50 units, moving into not even 2 months on the season and running into the new year. Because I know we got great games lined up as well outside of after Christmas break. The new year is going to be rocking. We got day games going on all next week. So it's going to be very, very fun and a good slate. I know I'm really looking forward to it as well.
Yeah, no, it's good to be back. I didn't have anything bet on the board today. I've been doing a lot of some in the medical field. You got to do a lot of continuing education. So as the year gets down to the very end, I've been kind of slacking. Been focusing more of my my time on college basketball and picks and giving out winners than continuing my education like I need to for my real time job. But it's been a grind. I got everything ready for Christmas. I leave tomorrow, and I'm literally on the road tomorrow. Good. I stay at one night, different family's house. I got like four Christmases, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, all lined up. So a lot of people, sometimes it's, restful for people, but man, I'm actually will be excited once the holiday is over. So next week will be kind of my rest and relax week, which will be nice when all the games are on and things like that. But
Is Vince Vaughn, Reese Witherspoon, good movie. So you'll be living that kind of up a little bit, 4 Christmases back to back, but that'll be fun. So 25th through 29th, huh? Full routine.
Yep. 24th actually. So 24th, my first one, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. So
man,
I'll feel wild time.
I'll be in Puerto Rico for the 26th, unfortunately.
Lucky you.
So, yes, lucky me. I'm going back to Puerto Rico. So light Christmas, less shopping, which was good. But total gaslight by my wife being like, yeah, we're not doing gifts because of the trip. But then she goes and buys me gifts. So total gaslighting there. Ended up buying gifts, but whatnot. Not your normal Christmas for sure. But yeah, Trevor, we got any good plans going into the holidays?
Hanging out. That's about it. Not a whole lot, and I'm ready for that. So I'm ready to just hang around and do nothing. Do whatever the hell I feel like doing every day. It's going to be nice. So looking forward to looking forward to that.
It's definitely going to be a good one. Let's go ahead and chop up the 12-20 slate here, or 20-21 slate. Excuse me, 22. Days are flying. Trevor, we started off super hot. I will say hand up, I bet an over in Fordham UNH at 11 a.m. I know that's not smart. Tried to get a little cute there, but outside of that, Towson minus 10.5 was free. Denver plus 18.5 was free, and Butler team total over 90.5 was free. So, Butler, perfect cap there. Thad Matta mentions even after a 3-point win against Northwestern, how pissed he was, how much they average, and that they're going to come in super hot. Team total was free. They average 87.5. Set was 89. It was at 89.5, 90.5. So they go ahead and get it done and beat NJIT. I think 107 to something. They scored 107, but at one point they were up 39-7, and I think they were up 46-14 at the end of the first half. By the way.
Yeah, they cruised. I just score watched that one at work. It was never close. Team total was easy money in that one.
Texas Southern plus 4.5 was a bummer. For sure, they were covering the entire game, but they ended up losing by 5. So I don't know if you ended up betting that, Trevor, or not, but that was a total bummer for sure.
Yeah, they covered good 80% of that game at least, and then failed coming down the stretch. So go figure on that one, but can't win them all, I guess. So I'll give them that one.
Absolutely. And then did you end up doing anything in the IU game? I know that you were mentioning how bad IU is and how much they suck. So I'm sure you did.
Yeah, they do suck. Yep, they do suck. Absolute joke. Just play 40 minutes. That's all I ask, and then they can't do that. They decide to give it up late, don't cover. So yet again, IU screws me.
The over. I had the over 143.5. They got to 141, and there was a massive scoring drought. But you talk a big game for a team up there in the north. Bucky Badgers get just didn't cover as well either. So, but we called.
I already said they suck. So
I didn't bet on it. I didn't bet on that. Never would lay that many points with them. But we did bet Fairleigh Dickinson plus 17.5. Get out of here. That was ridiculous. Boston College laying 17.5. Fairleigh Dickinson was winning the game for majority of that game and ended up blowing it. But they still covered 17.5, Trevor. So easy money there. I think the cap was just fading Boston College versus taking Fairleigh Dickinson.
Yeah, should have played them. Boston College should never laid 17 to anybody. It was a miss on my part. Fairdick was free money, and I did not play them tonight. So that's an L. But yeah, they at least didn't blow that game, didn't lose it. So I guess good on Boston College for that, I suppose.
And then did you get Northeastern at all plus 10.5 at anything?
No, I didn't bet that game.
Does it go Illinois minus 8.5 against Missouri? Yep.
Belt
that was easy.
Belt to ass.
Easiest play of the day almost. Wasn't worried about it whatsoever. Missouri a little fraudulent. I think the books were still right covering and thinking that they still had their roster from last year, and it's just complete turnover there in Columbia.
Yeah, that was no doubter. That was easy money. Didn't even have to watch a second of that game to know it was safe.
Yep. Trevor or Elliot, go ahead. Sorry.
I will say, shout out to Tulsa getting it done against the feisty Denver team. Now they're 12-1 after that buzzer beater win on what was that Saturday?
They didn't cover though.
They didn't cover, but shout out to them, man. 12-1. Fantastic start to the season for Tulsa. We'll see what they do in the American against a couple formidable opponents once conference play starts here after the year.
Yeah, shout out to Tulsa. They're definitely a great story this year. Didn't cover though. Fade the buzzer beater, of course. So
who'd they get beat by? I forget.
But we fade the buzzer beater. They didn't cover though, so they didn't lay the points. So, but yeah, they lost to Kansas State, I believe, if any team is possible, or maybe UMKC. same team this year, basically. So, but yeah, good day. Looks like we had a fire day so far. I mean, a little not the hottest day after what it's been like, but the last few days. But still a good profitable day here as we wind down with Washington minus 19.5 and CSUN minus 10.5 to take us home. But yeah, Trevor, how'd you end up? I know that you had a nice little play though with Florida State minus 23.5, which was our Rithmm play of the day as well too. Florida State, man, they were dominating. They had it. Then they kind of like let their foot off the gas just a little bit. I was getting just a tad worried because that was the right side the entire time with how Florida State was dominating. But Rithmm play of the day minus 23.5 takes us home with Florida State and their Luke Laux team against the Jacksonville Dolphins. That is now 23-10 for the Rithmm play of the day, by the way. 5 wins in a row. 23-10. That's definitely in the tournament. That is a great record going into the tournament for sure. Definitely a good dark horse. But with 1 unit, you're betting 1 unit. You're a little bit up, probably a little bit up above 10 units just betting our Rithmm play of the day. And, we definitely know we go to Rithmm and use Rithmm for sure. They definitely spit out way more winners than just the 23-10. But with going off of our eye test and then also pairing it with what Rithmm likes as well, it's definitely just the motivator that's been great. And it's been a great profitable start to the season for 23-10 with a Rithmm play of the day. Trevor, how about Florida State today?
Yeah, it was the right side. Glad they didn't completely collapse like all the other big spreads did. But yeah, they looked good. They were hitting everything. Their defense looked good. Offense was humming. And then they kind of just somewhat coasted the last 5 minutes, and it got a little dicey. But at least they came through. They looked pretty good. It's just a matter of doing this against actual teams that matter, not Jacksonville. When they're in town, so we'll see how they do in ACC play here.
Yeah, absolutely. But either way, a cash is a cash, and we've talked about it before. Want you guys to know, we are sponsored by Rithmm. Of course, if you didn't know, we've been partnering up with Rithmm this entire season. It's been fantastic. We've really enjoyed it, and we do have a promo code going for to sign up with Rithmm. So make sure to use promo code PFP25. For 25% off your first month. And like I said, Rithmm's been launching new things and new tools. They just had a 1-click to all different types of sports books. So all the big sports books that you now have those odds and getting the best odds available going through the Rithmm app. So make sure you go to rithmm.ai on the App Store, go to rithmm.com. And we got even something also to talk about today because we've been discussing this before about an episode. Maybe doing a little under the hood preview and look into kind of what goes on with Rithmm. And I'm really excited for what we're about to discuss here and with Rithmm as well. So we're going to welcome in the CTO for Rithmm, Brian Beachkofski, to the Pump Fake Pod. So to discuss about Rithmm. Brian, welcome to the Pump Fake Pod from Rithmm. How you doing today?
I am awesome, boys. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Yeah, that samurai sword is badass back there, by the way. And I know that you're being able to chop up some lines, chop up some models.
He's sharp.
Sure.
He's sharp.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. He's sharp.
That's it. That is exactly right.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, Brian. So unbelievable stuff. We've really enjoyed, the tool that you guys have built over there at Rithmm. And not only for CBB, of course. I mean, there's definitely other sports that I'm not really good at that you guys have helped me with, of course. And then adding the CBB touch has just been fantastic. Going through all these games, I come from the world where I started doing this. You know the game of CSV, downloading all that, going into an Excel spreadsheet, trying to figure out everything, and then the transfer portal happens and all these changes to college sports happen. You guys have been able to keep up with all the statistics of what goes on in the transfer portal and movements, roster changes. how have you guys been able to keep up with everything and kind of what goes on just in all the statistics over the years here with our CBB plays here or CBB statistics under at Rithmm?
Yeah, you're exactly right, man. The college game is totally changed. It is now a player level thing, just like the NBA, and with players moving here and there, you got to know what's happening on every single team to get the roster changes, and that is. We're all talking about full-time jobs and continuing education credits, and like how you're going to keep up with the transfer portal every year on 360 plus teams when you got to pay the bills, right? We're the answer, right? We do that for you at Rithmm. We have all the automation set up so that we get all of the data feed, and here's the key for the college football models, right? We break it down, we get the play-by-play data and do a opponent adjusted quality metric on every phase of the game for every player. So we know how their tendency to take a shot. We know when they take a shot, what that's likely to come in as a shot that's made, that it's missed. We know when a guy's on the court, what are their chances of getting more or fewer assists while that guy's on the court. We got it all down. And in college basketball, well, we don't have those props. That all feeds into that game line. So we have all of those predictions adjusted for that upcoming opponent. We got all of the opponent defensive ratings, how that adjusts everything. Pull that together to make an overarching prediction of what's going to happen. And the prediction is really what makes us different. Everyone else out there can tell you, the last 7 games on Tuesdays against someone from this conference and a non-conference game, it never fails. They're not making a prediction about what's coming on. They're not using play-by-play data to get how is this guy now on this team with these other guys going to impact the game. That's what we can. And the main thing is, that is such a pain in the ass. You can't do that with your CSV, and we're all too busy to do it. Everyone just give me the number. Well, we do that for you, and we give you the number. And like you said, and I love the way you guys do that with taking the number, comparing it with the eye test, taking get a little nerdy here. Orthogonal viewpoints, things that have nothing to do with each other, and you get the eye test, you get the database prediction, and when they align, is a beautiful thing, right? 23 and 10 is what you can get. So I love it. I love the way you guys use the tool. That's why the samurai sword's there. Rithmm is your samurai sword. It is the tool that makes you a better samurai for going out there. The sword does nothing on its own. It needs you. It needs your skill. But without the sword, a samurai is nothing.
Absolutely, and and you, I know you've been able to put in a lot of stuff to Rithmm regarding that. I mean, as you mentioned, all what goes into predictive modeling and just the beast of college sports, especially college basketball. I mean, how many teams that there are, 356, 360 plus teams, having all that data. And now that you can just pull up an app, look at Rithmm, kind of see what they like as well, and it's they pick every game as well too. Rithmm does, so every game is on the slate, and I think that's amazing that you can be cooking dinner, making breakfast, whatever you're doing, taking a walk, you can pull up your phone, and all that's done for you, and completely sliced, keeping the sword analogies going, slicing all that time away that you used to have to do. Chopping up models and trying to even build a model. So those days are over. Rithmm's got you covered there. And out of curiosity, Brian, I mean, outside of the statistics, do you guys we know the classic systems of conference road games or certain other systems. Do you guys factor in any of those systems as well too versus the statistics?
Yeah. So with the game model, we call it the game context, right? So we put in there, is it a conference game? Is it an out of conference game? Is it a tourney game? What is the context of that game? It all comes into that because those things do matter. And we pull all of that data, all of that on court data, plus the game context, team history, every team's moving weighted average. So if a team starts to come down on a slump a little bit, we get that adjusted. So we do all of that kind of adjustment that folks need to have in those models to get them to where they need to be. So yeah, we pull that in. Is it a conference game? Are they playing a mid-major? Is it that's actually another thing we have in there. We code conference quality and say what's the opponent conference quality, so it does a whole conference adjustment as well. So all that stuff's baked in there. So you get the number that pulls all that stuff in and accounts for those all those adjustments.
That's incredible. I mean, like I said, the beast of college basketball. There's statistics, there's analytics, there's everything in between. But also the fact that Rithmm's factoring in the context of things, just immaculate stuff there. Because there is some weird context. I mean, a 4 seed in the NCAA tournament may have 10 losses, and they lose to a team that is one of the worst teams in their conference. But that's just kind of how college basketball is, because there's spots on top of the analytics and good teams. Rithmm's got you covered on that as well. Not only just for the analytics and stuff, but staying updated consistently on what teams are in a slump, what teams are kind of picking up fire, what's the historical data of these two teams playing. They got it all. They factor it in, and I think that's just immaculate. And Brian, I know that you're a Wisconsin Badger fan, correct?
I am, and I heard the shade that came in earlier, so I can't really disagree with it. I think they got Blackwell this year, and beyond that, I'm not sure who's going to do anything.
Trevor, up there in Appleton area-ish, kind of, right, Trevor?
Yep.
Oh, nice. My grandma lived up in Menasha, so right down the road.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah, that's right over there. It's small world right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. I was like, oh, you guys would get along for sure as Bucky Badger fans, and just the Wisconsin beer drinking. But you know, Brian, your love for college basketball, there's a special story with what Rithmm? I mean, you don't need to go into the whole sauce of everything, but kind of a little bit. I know that there's a special story that CBB was kind of at the heart of maybe Rithmm's foundation potentially. And if I'm wrong by that, you can trump me there and stump me, but. I do think there's some maybe historical thoughts of maybe what CBB and the love for CBB kind of maybe was a foundation for Rithmm as well too. And so in this chat, we have so many CBB fans. They know everything about CBB, everything about the history of it. They've been fans forever. I think it'd be very special. And on top of that, we love hearing just people that love college basketball. We're building a little community here consistently. So, would love to hear more about that and kind of what goes on and the love for college basketball that dawned all this almost.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell maybe not a long story, a medium story. How about that?
Oh,
we'll go with the medium
story. Please do.
So when I was active duty Air Force, getting my PhD in probabilistic analysis, which is the reason why I'm here as the CTO, because all of my PhD work is in probability theory, is applied to system reliability and probability of outcomes. So like kind of overlaps pretty well with where we are in the gambling space. When I was doing that, I was, like I said, working for the Air Force doing jet engine analysis. And believe it or not, it was nearly impossible for me as an Air Force guy to get real Air Force data on systems. So like I was doing jet engine reliability. I went to guys and like, hey, give me jet engine data so I can do it. And they go, oh, that takes a long time. We can't do this. Well, you know where you can get a ton of data is baseball. So my first model was actually on baseball. And this goes back into steroid era. And I did an analysis on guys aging appropriately and based on power statistics. So I took every at bat. So you can go back to like 1900. Baseballreference.com is unbelievable. They have like at bats from 1890s. You can get all that. And I took that as streaming data and I said, who of the greatest power hitters of all time is not aging appropriately? And you know what? It popped up and said, here's a list of names of the guys who aren't aging appropriately. Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, all the guys that were caught up in steroids. I'm like, maybe there's something to this sports analysis, right? So that's kind of like the underlying spark that got me down this path. By the way, I was living in Ohio at the time, big Reds fan. And unfortunately, Ken Griffey Jr. completely aged appropriately. And when he went to the Reds, was not what he used to be. But that's a side story.
It was still fun, though. Yep. Go Reds.
Unbelievable. A lot of fun at those games. Anyway, so like that was I've always used sports data to like advance myself on the math side because it's accessible, it's fun, it's good to do. And another side, so I played hockey growing up, and the other goalie on my team is Bart Torvik. Now, some of you guys know Bart Torvik from barttorvik.com, college basketball analytical guy trying to displace Ken Pom. I think he's better than Ken Pom, but that's just because I know Bart and he's a kick-ass dude. So I was talking to him. I'm like, hey, I haven't been doing anything with sports lately. Let's have some conversation. So we talked a little bit, and I started dabbling around with college basketball at that point. And at that same time, I go to a mutual friend's 50th birthday party and met the co-founder of Rithmm, Megan. So we meet at the party. She's like, I'm trying to bring analytics to sports betting, and I can't find a guy who knows numbers. And I'm like, wait, hold on. What's your background? She goes, I was a Division I basketball coach, and I know the coaching stuff, and I know what I want to go into my model, but I don't know how to do the math stuff. And I go, well, I played hockey. I don't know anything about basketball, but I know the math stuff. Maybe we could combine forces like a Voltron or Super Friends and make something happen here. And I said, let me go off and do some things. I took about a week and went off and like did a little quick proof of concept and said, is this the kind of thing we're talking about? She's like, I think so. I'm in this class at MIT. We can get a business pitch put together. That was the idea. It came together. And now here we are like 5 years later. I don't know how many years later, growing this thing and making the math happen and getting the coach's view on it, getting the math guy's view on it, and making it all right there for everyone. So that's kind of the medium-like story.
That was amazing. And I mean, yeah, now that you got, I mean, I think that's so important with college basketball. We talk about it all the time of like mixing the math versus the, as you mentioned, the context. I love that, like the context of the game. And I think, that's the fact that that's the fusion, the rhythm almost there is the math and the analytics behind that. That's a very special place. And I know that Rithmm's always going to have a special place in our heart. And it's definitely been helping us print some money too, and feeding out consistent winners. And it's whatever you guys got going on in that model, especially we got that little under the hood of context and also the statistics and historical data. It's working, let me tell you. And I think everyone, if you haven't had a chance to even go in and just try the free trial, take a look and take a peek around. It's been a fantastic tool. And like I mentioned, they have all these other games as well and other sports outside of CBB, which is just fantastic. Brian, I mean, how do you keep up with all the other sports? And I mean, we don't need to go into everything, but I mean, I'm sure there's other. Is there the context and the statistics go in for the other sports as well too?
Yeah. So when we go into a new sport, we really break it down and figure out what's going on. In fact, kind of a preview, what I've been working on for the last month or so is a complete redo of where we are on our MLB model. So I've been doing that and taking that same approach, breaking it down to every at bat, up to and including pitch speed variation by player, how folks are doing against different pitch speed variations, pull that all in to get like the heart of the model is that at bat, right? Like the baseball comes down to that release of the pitch and when it hits the plate and where that one matchup ends up. So I've been digging in deep there, 10 years of at-bat data. You can imagine how much data that is to go through, doing all the player adjustments, stadium adjustments, defense, everything put in there, and pulling that back up and building it into a sequential model to get in there. We'll have all the props available, all the game lines available and stuff. So it is unbelievable. But it all starts with that, breaking it down, what matters to that sport, how do we get it into the model, how do we find the data to make it happen, and how do we just make it easy for the user to take that and make the play, because no one wants something that is a pain in the ass to get things done. They want to sit there and they say, I want the power of this stuff behind me, and I want to make it easy then for me to go make that play. So you mentioned earlier about the bet slip integration and the one button click to get it into your bet slip. That's just one more step of how we're trying to make it easier for users to go from seeing the data, matching it with what they think, and like getting that done so you can go back to your busy life.
And I think that's the best part, because I find myself in having the past of, I got like 4 apps open at the time. And since we've been using Rithmm, I've just been going through the slate with Rithmm. And then now that all the odds are available too, I mean, it's been fantastic, and all the data behind it, of course. I mean, we're talking pitch data per pitch of 162 game season of 30 teams per pitch data for 10 years. That is fascinating, Brian.
It's unbelievable. We tried to do a count of like all the data across all of our sports, and it's like 1.6 billion data points or something go into our prediction. It's unbelievable. It's pretty healthy.
The Rithmm universe, some say, of analytics and statistics, and I find that just amazing. And a couple of final questions here. You guys have different like confidence meters, right? Is that kind of how, you fine tune it? Because how many bets you guys have and availability and custom model builds is too, so people can build their own models as well. Does the building of a custom model versus the Rithmm AI model, does that change the confidence intervals with certain bets throughout the games?
So when a model is built, whether it's an AI model or whether it's a custom model, we do back testing on it. So we take that model and apply it to about the equivalent of 3 years of season data to be able to get you what your model would have done over those seasons. And when we do that backtest data, we find exactly where the model was most accurate in predicting the actual final scores, spreads, totals, everything around that. And then also where it was most profitable on those. And we combine all of that to say, this is where your model is most accurate. And we can automatically recommend bets that fit within there. So when you see the green star, that means this fits within the pattern of where your model has proven to be the most accurate in terms of the final score prediction and where it has had a sustained positive ROI. So we bring that in. But what is really cool is, unlike other apps where or other places where they'll give you their 5 picks that day, we literally make a prediction on every single open line. So where else can you go find the Lindenwood or the Long Island University prediction, right? And those are soft markets. Those are extremely soft markets. So if you can get a prediction on all of those and have a slight edge, man, the CLV, I've been getting like 10% CLV on some of these plays. It's unbelievable, which a lot of people don't get in early. And I'm sure you guys talk about that. Find the best price, get in early. But if you do that, it helps you so much doing that. And that's why as soon as the line opens, whatever it is, we got you covered on that. If it's UC Irvine, tomorrow afternoon, we got that tonight as soon as the line's open. And where else can you get that kind of service?
You really can't. I think that's a fascinating and amazing point, because, like I said, it's every game. You can scroll through every single game of the slate. It has a feature within itself that has the most updated current line available too. And then gives you the interval. So fantastic stuff there. Brian, I guess when it comes to the smart signal situation, is that maybe involve more context than statistics, or am I kind of just speaking out of tongue there?
So the smart signals, and here I'll get a little bit nerdy again, are what you call a meta-analysis. They're an analysis of the analysis. So what we do with smart signals is we look at that model's prediction or live prediction. So this is separate from the backtest. Since that model was made, of all the predictions that it has generated, where has it been showing sustained win edges and sustained profitability? And those are where we highlight them up. We go, your model is doing great for home teams that are, a slight favorite, right? Home teams that are -1 50 to 200 minus 200. And it'll go like those slight favorite at home, your model is crushing it right there, and highlight those for you to go through. It is that is kind of the downside of college basketball is if there are 180 team or matchups, because there's 360 teams, how do you go through all of those? Well, our automated recommended bets and our smart signals really generate, hey, these are the first ones you should look at because this is where your models have been performing the best. And we tell you exactly how that's fit in and what those ROIs have looked like for those predictions. So excuse me, yeah, that is what Smart Signals does. It is an analysis of all your model's predictions to figure out where it has had that sustained edge and the sustained ROI, and just bring those up to the top to say, start here, because this is where your model is proven to be doing well this season.
Yeah, I absolutely can attest. I know Trevor, Elliot, you guys can attest. Rithmm's been working, and it's been absolutely fun to have you guys. And really appreciate the partnership so far because it's been an amazing tool. I know Trevor, Elliot, you guys enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, I enjoy the nerdy stuff too. So I love working with numbers and all that stuff. So you're speaking my language. So sometimes it makes me want to dive into even more numbers. But then it's like, when do I have the time? I don't, but I wish I could. But that's what Rithmm's for, like you said.
100%. Yeah, Rithmm is. Excuse me. I've noticed the totals have been incredibly sharp, getting a lot of CLV, and they've been like the number one. If I'll go through every day, I will blind bet, even if I don't give it out as like my own play. I'll bet every smart signal over basically or under whatever it has. It's been absolutely crushing. The totals specifically, the spreads have been really, really good too. But for some reason, it feels like the totals don't miss. It's just barring a team shooting 30% and couldn't throw water into an ocean. The totals have been incredibly sharp with Rithmm this entire year. So yeah, just want to give you a thanks for that, because that's made me a little bit of extra bankroll and easy money to just sit back and not have to worry about every day.
I appreciate that. Love to hear it, and I think it is tied to having that play-by-play. And again, even if you don't have play-by-play in a guy, what do you do with a JUCO transfer into Bucknell, right? Well, we can tell you the average person who comes into Bucknell has these kinds of statistics and is there. So we start with, to get a little nerdy, Bayesian approach, where we have a prior estimate of everyone's expectation. And then as real data comes in, we update those priors to say, okay, they are acting as we expected, or maybe they're a little higher or below where we expected. But yeah, without having some approach like that, it's you're just counting on like some sort of historical power rating, and that's just not going to cut it these days.
Yeah, thanks for that. And I do want to shout this out before this goes away. Parlay P, thanks for the donation. Prayers up for Thomas. Yeah, prayers up, Thomas, with your surgery. We'll be thinking of you, dude. Don't apologize for getting personal. We're a community around here, and we want to send you the best wishes, especially during the holiday season. So we'll be thinking of you, sending thoughts and prayers your way, Thomas.
Yeah, fuck cancer.
Yeah. Simple as that. Brian, thank you so much first coming here. Like I said, giving us a little under the hood of Rithmm. I think, definitely want to be able to maybe do this again down the road and see that Rithmm model go from 23-10 to 40-15, something like that. It's been absolutely on fire, and so much data goes in, like we've talked about today, behind Rithmm, and not only for CBB, but other sports as well. I mean, we're talking pitch data for the last 10 years. Like I said, 162 games, 30 teams in the MLB. Insane data amounts there, billions of data points here in the Rithmm universe. But, I know you're touting yourself as a math guy, but I know you love the ball too. I know you can sit there and know your ball knowledge. I've talked to you before, and I know you know the ball. I mean, how do you not? You're sitting here on all this data and data points. The math for sure is a thing, but you're getting all the ball in between. Brian, you got a favorite play maybe for tomorrow? I know it's a little short slate, kind of like a 10-game slate before we get out of here on the break, but you got any favorite plays here
I do, and it won't be a shocker. This is kind of backed up, not backed up. It is based on the math behind it. All right, I like Nova over Seton Hall, and I'll tell you why. Nova is a 3-point. Yeah, see, this is, but it's good. This could go. It could go well, and it could go horrible because it'll come down to the 3. Nova's all about the 3. 3s will have the high variance. Seton Hall has been not great at guarding that 3. They're going to get their looks, and it'll come down if they hit those looks. If they hit them, it will happen. I love having the plus money play. It's like 125 right now, plus 125 on something with a high variance play. That's why I like it. The models are leaning that way. It's a 2.5-point game already, so I'll say I'll take them straight up. I'm not going to take that 2.5. I don't trust that end game. I'm going to say they're going to hit the 3s, take it, and bring it across the line and give me some plus money.
Yep, and just like you were saying, I'm on the Rithmm app right now. Pulled it up, was able to look at the different odds for some of those sports books that are plus 130 on DK right now.
Love it.
And we're looking at Seton Hall off of a good road win too, at Providence in Big East play. I think that we could see a little sleepier spot for them, just kind of bouncing back after a solid road win of controlling that in Providence. So, I definitely see. I think that we could see an issue on defense for sure for Seton Hall. So I love it. Let's go Villanova. We're riding that money line for sure.
Let's do it. High variance play. That's my deal. You could even take an alt line here, right? Like you could take Villanova minus a couple points, and I think it would add a little bit. Like I said, it'll either fall apart or they'll make it happen. So I love a variance play, and let's make it good.
I love a good variance play, and I see Villanova plus 130 on DraftKings as well. So on the money line, so definitely already got some good sauce there. I love that.
Minus 2.5 plus 168, minus 3.5 plus 196.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
There's
Christmas
the extra sprinkle. I love. That's all we need around here. But Brian, thank you so much for coming in here, chopping it up, and just kind of discussing Rithmm. Like I said, it's been such an amazing partnership. The fact that we've seen now all the math that goes into this, and the chat's been able to see it, just fantastic stuff. And I can't even fathom all the statistics. And I do want to leave you here. This is something that you can look. I'm literally looking at, like, you can search on CBB for teams. They have the Academy of Art of the Urban Knights. Agnes Scott College Scotties, Adrian Bulldogs. They're searchable. So, yeah, you may not find a play on them right away. But the fact that they have those in there, they're chopping up data from all these D2 teams. Brian was mentioning JUCO College. They have it on there, and they have all these stats in there. I'm fascinated by that. Michigan Tech Huskies, which beat Green Bay last year, by the way, Trevor, as we know and love. So,
fully aware.
You guys have all that. It's not only the statistics of D1. You guys are really tackling the transfer portal with this and making a lot of lives easier for sure, Brian.
Yeah,
that's what we're here for. We're all frustrated as bettors. There's too much to do this modeling on your own. Wouldn't it be great if somebody could come in there and do it for you? And that's what we're trying. That's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely.
100%.
So yeah, definitely go to Rithmm, Rithmm.ai, app.rithmm.com, Rithmm.com. Go to that. They got a great website. They got a great app. And yeah, use promo code PFP25. Brian, thank you so much. Got any final thoughts here? Anything else you want to plug where we can maybe find you on social, or are you just kind of wielding that sword in the background of data here at Rithmm?
I don't do a lot on socials. I'm out there if you want, but everyone should be following Rithmm_AI on all the socials. We got TikTok and IG and all over the place. So that's the thing to follow. We do a lot of recaps and plays there, and it's a lot of great content out on our socials. So follow us there, download the app, and big request, everyone who's on there who's loving it like you guys, give us 5 stars, put a review. It matters so much for us. So just please do that and get other people to join the family. And I love what you guys have here, as it is a community. It is a family. We all care for each other. It's the same way for Rithmm users. If you come onto the Discord, everyone's super nice. A lot of gambling Discord is a trash heap of hate. We try and keep ours a helpful place where people can exchange best ideas on how to use the app, what the models are like, and make it a really great supportive place. So I love what you guys do with your community. We try and do the same. Join us, leave the 5 stars, leave the reviews, get on our Discord, and let's get those wins in.
Hey, you heard it. Yeah, and I mean, all the work that goes in, it's not too hard to just hit a quick like, hit a quick review button, and hit those 5 stars, especially when you're loving Rithmm. So yeah, it goes a long way. So make sure to go and hit those buttons, and hit the like button on this video as well too. It's very easy. Just hit a quick button. You're not sitting there going through billions of data points to hit the review button like Brian is. So the least you guys can do is hit that 5 stars, and let's give Rithmm some love. So Brian, thank you so much, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'm sure we'll see you again in 2026. We'd love to have you back on the pod and discussing more plays, and go Villanova as well too.
All right. Thank you, boys. It's always great to be here. Merry Christmas, and go Badgers. They're probably going to need some help this year, but I'll still be watching.
Yeah, I think I'm afraid Tanti saved Greg Gard's job for one more year, so we'll find out how that goes. But yeah, appreciate you coming on, man. It was a lot of fun.
All right. Take care.
See ya.
See ya.
Yeah, you guys got Luke Fickell still though, so I wouldn't count your eggs too much.
I already pushed out Wisconsin football from my brain. I will say, shout out C-Sun. Bang! -10.5.
Yeah!
Let's fucking go.
Let's go. C-Sun. That means definitely a profitable day then for sure. So yeah, C-Sun banger, Washington banger. So yeah, 12-9 on the day. So another day in the green. Not the best day, but hey, that's profit. Just a little bit under a full unit. So we're sitting here about 42.7 units on the year. So yeah, fire end to December here, and it's just still going. We're rocking and rolling. We do, like I said, we had our Rithmm episode, of course, just talked with Rithmm with Brian there. We will be off until the Sunday the 28th, and then we'll have an episode Monday the 29th, Tuesday the 30th. No episode New Year's Eve. Come on now, we gotta have some fun. New Year's Eve got to be fun time, and then
I'm coming on the 27th.
Yeah, the 27th for the
26th. I'm coming on the 26th. It's going to be the shortest show. I'm having a show for the one game.
Yeah, Stanford C-Sun on Saturday. So okay, whatever that show is, Friday, and then I will not be there. Sunday, the 28th for sure, all 3 of us back, and then the 29th, the 30th for sure, an episode. No episode the 31st, and then an episode probably the 1st, and then an episode the 2nd. I will be in Puerto Rico though, so I'll be having some fun. I'll be sporadic. I am going to do an episode from there though for sure. Going to go on the island and bet. I did good on the island when I went there in March for March Madness for a destination wedding. It wasn't my choice, but yes, we're back. It's gonna be a fun one. And then Friday, January 2nd, I'll be back full time. Friday, January 2nd, a mega show. We got 100+ games going back on Saturday, so those Saturday slates are back and at 'em. And you think about it, you got 1 in January, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. You got 3 in February. You got like 1 in March. So we got less than 10 big Saturday slates to go, and we're gonna kick it off with a big one, January 2nd. So we'll get all these links out, ready to rock. Probably start all around 11 Eastern, but I'm pumped. It's gonna be a good next few days, and a little bit of some good rest here on the Pump Fake Pod as well. You guys excited for just a little bit of a break? And then a good little slate of day games for the following week.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. I'm looking forward to all of it.
Yeah, I'm ready for it too, and I'll probably, I don't know what you want to do, Trev, but I'll probably looks like 20 games on Sunday the 28th, so I might go live again on Saturday the 27th too, since we're missing 25th, 26th. just the time that I can go. Don't have to worry about work, so easy for me to spend a lot more time capping. So we could do that too.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into it. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll have all these episodes ready to rock, and that's our holiday schedule there. And then all of our plays are posted. 12-9 on the day. Good day. Trevor in the green as well too. Elliot had some day off.
In the green, 1-0. I always bet the Rithmm play of the day.
1-0.
Go to the picks page. Look to see what the Rithmm play of the day is. Auto bet, easy. 1-0 in the green.
11-6. Shout out the Colts for following through, but shout out Alec Pierce for crushing your 20.5 receiving yards. That shit.
Alec Pierce first touchdown, 20-1, no problem. That was a good one for sure. But Phillip Rivers, not his problem. Defense ass whatsoever. Phillip Rivers was dealing out there. His yards were definitely rocking. And Danny, we are. You read my mind. Are we going to go over tomorrow's slate? Yes, we are. We only got a small, little short slate of games, and then the holidays begin. Let's start with it. Trevor, Green Bay, your boys, Gottlieb. I kind of like Gottlieb. I was a fan of him in the airport. He was like kind of taking the smoke a little bit. He's like, yeah, I'll check out the pod. Well, he must have watched our conference preview, and he got a little pissed off.
That's why he quit. That's why he quit his podcast. He saw that we were making fun of him, and so he quit and took time off.
They've been playing solid. Green Bay rocking and rolling. Now they got Campbell. Campbell's laying 3.5. The over-under is 147.5. I believe this is a true road game as well. In Boone's Creek. A noon game here. What are you doing? Green Bay catching 3.5, Trevor.
I see 5.5 now. I'd be willing to take a stab. I know they just beat Santa Barbara. They beat IU Indy on the road. Wright State was an 8-point game. They went to Minnesota, went to overtime. Thomas busted their ass, but they should have beat Buffalo too. So, I mean, like, they've been fairly respectable on the road. Campbell's coming in here off of Gonzaga, Minnesota.
That Wright State game was a 28-point game, not 8. 28.
Maybe I was saying the wrong game. The Minnesota Buffalo, my bad. Buffalo was an 8-point game. Not Wright State. Yeah. Carried it too. That's a 30-point blowout, but I don't mind them here. Campbell's, they're coming off of the Gonzaga, Minnesota games back home. So, I mean, yeah, you could say, dumbbell theory. They just played those two. Now they got Green Bay coming in. They should be able to get this done. But Green Bay's been playing a lot better basketball. I still think they're undervalued by people here. I mean, Green Bay can get to the line and they're not turning the ball over. Something that Campbell, struggles. They're one of the worst teams in the country at hanging onto the ball. They're shooting 25% from three, sub 69% from the free throw line. I just think Green Bay's just been the better team. They've been tested here. They played Yale, Minnesota, Buffalo, Kansas, St. Thomas, all on the road. Wright State, they've got some conference games under their belt. So I think they're battle tested. I know Campbell's played some tough teams here, but I'm going to take a stab with Green Bay at 5.5 here. I think they're just better team. When you go on the road, you want to not turn it over. You want to be able to hit your shots and at the free throw line. So I will take a stab with Campbell. Hasty is right. It's probably a school kids game. More than likely, yes. So that is always a bad idea to fade. Well, I mean, still, regardless of people take their kids or whatever else, but the fading home teams on day games here during the week has not been profitable this year. But I'll take a stab with Gottlieb in the 5.5 here. It's getting bet up. People are hitting Campbell. I don't know if Campbell's really going to win by 3-4 possessions. I don't know if they're that good, and Green Bay's not that bad. So I'll take a stab with Green Bay.
Elliot, green shirt, festive guy. I had my sweater on I had my Greg Campy Christmas sweater on last night. Is the green guy going with Green Bay here as well?
Yeah, he is. I like if plus 3.5 would have been a little bit different. The fact that it's at plus 5.5 now, I like getting it over 2 possessions. Campbell, I mean, they're not the Campbell of last year. They've been pretty competitive in some of their games, but really, I think they've kind of had a tough road trip here, going all the way out to Gonzaga, then all the way across, back across on Sunday and playing Minnesota. Now they return home. They just played Sunday, so 1 day of rest. Now they're playing Green Bay at 11 a.m. Green Bay, on the other hand, they've been off for 6 days. They've probably been practicing around the same time as this game, just getting prepared. If Gottlieb's a good coach, that's when he'd be practicing at that 11 a.m. tip time. So I think they're going to come out, be competitive. I like this to be a close, competitive game, so I'll take the 5.5.
Yeah, I like the 5.5 as well too. I think I'm going to bet the under 148.5 here on FanDuel. I think we see this number definitely creep down. I don't foresee Campbell winning by double digits either, or by multiple possessions here. I think Green Bay can keep it semi-close. Green Bay's pace really tries to slow you down, and I don't think Campbell's really going to run super fast. I know that they like to sometimes get out into transition, but both teams get to the foul line a ton. They're solid about that. Green Bay fouls a little bit more on defense, but both teams are okay at rebounding. Campbell just a little bit better. On the rebounding out, even though they have Ramil Bethea over there in Green Bay, who's 29 years old, by the way. But outside of that, I like the under here, under 148.5. I think Green Bay keeps it close, and we see this in the low 70s to high 60s. A little bit slower game to end the year and the holiday season at noon.
Shit, wrong button.
Army's laying 7.5 against Binghamton. Over under is 142.5. I think we lay it here. This is kind of disgusting, I know, but laying this many points with Army never sounds fun. But in West Point, Army has been able to shoot the three pretty solid. They can kind of spread the floor. Run that kind of motion style offense. I think we see an Army team pick up the pace. They've won 2 in a row. They just had a sluggish game against UMBC. Now they've had 11 days off to prepare for a Binghamton team that just is getting belt to ass everywhere they go. Lost by Mercyhurst by 21, 40 to Pittsburgh. Got creamed by Central Connecticut, 15 to Lemoyne. This Binghamton team is just super bad. And, I liked them last year. I thought they were pretty impressive and maybe a dark horse this season, but they're nothing special. I think Army drills them. I'll lay it with the Black Knights.
Yeah, I already laid it with Army. Laid the 7.5. It's a big number, yeah, but it's at the end of the day, it's Binghamton. So there's that. Binghamton, arguably one of the worst. I mean, this team just lost by 21 to Mercyhurst. Central Connecticut busted their ass. Canisius busted their ass. Maryland Eastern Shore busted their ass. Niagara busted their ass. Longwood. I mean, you got on the list. The Lehigh somehow lost to them, and then they beat Misericordia and RIT, which must be like a Wish.com version of MIT. So I laid it with Army. I think they're going to crush them. Ryan Curry, the Ginger Ninja. I think he's going to go off and ball out for Army here. If there's a spot they're going to bust somebody, it's tomorrow. So I love Army. And spoiler, Rithmm likes it too. Little smart signal play from Army. So that was the icing on the cake that I needed to back Army here in the Golden Knights.
Yeah, I'll back Army here as well. You look at Army; they don't shoot it really well from three. However, second in the country in 3 points attempted per field goals attempted, 53.8%, and they set seventh in the country as well of getting 3-pointers with their point distribution. 43% of their points come from the three. What is Binghamton? Their defense, their entire defense is really ass, to be honest. But they really struggle with giving up the three and allowing the three. So I think that's something that Army is going to be able to key on and take advantage of. I will lay it with Army. However, I think I'm probably going to look at maybe this under's kind of plummeting down. I think now it's 140.5, even at 140 possibly. I might look at a first half under here, being at 11 a.m. game. Army has been off for 11 days. So they might come out a little sluggish. and maybe we see just a slow, sluggish first half, two teams that play at a slow pace. I like the first half under as well.
I like it.
Early morning stuff too.
Kentucky's laying 35.5 against Bellarmine. Over-unders 152.5. Listen, I know Kentucky's been beating the living hell out of these teams, but Kentucky's kind of been going through a gauntlet and finding their stride after getting their break speed off by, some top teams, Michigan State, North Carolina, Gonzaga, and just beating up on these low-end teams. But now playing Indiana at home, St. John's on a neutral, and winning pretty easily. And then they got just a long break off until SEC play Saturday, January 3rd, which we'll be talking about on our Friday, January 2nd mega episode for conference play. Already pumped up for that one, no pun intended. I think it's a little bit of a sleepy spot here for Kentucky. I think we see Bellarmine potentially cover this, but we see this. I like the under. I think that's my way of viewing that they can cover this. I think we see Bellarmine's team total under 60.5. We see Kentucky go just a little bit down here and score around low 90s, high 80s, and just kind of let off the gas a little bit after a hot start and kind of run through the motions here in the second half. I think this Kentucky team will, and their defense will pick it up for sure. And nervous about Bellarmine scoring, but I don't foresee them scoring too many points. But kind of crazy considering that I like them plus the points when I'm taking their team total under. But again, I think we see Kentucky just with a go through the motion spot, especially in the second half.
I don't really know if Mark Pope and company can really go through the motions given how hot his seat is. He got 2 wins, but you start losing again, all of a sudden that seat heats up real quick. I mean, they just got Jane Quaintance back last game too, and we saw the effect that had on St. John's. I think this is a game Bellarmine really struggles. Jane Quaintance going to dominate the inside. They're not going to make anything easy for Bellarmine. I think Bellarmine really struggles. I don't mind the Bellarmine team total under, but I think this is a game Kentucky just absolutely balls out and dominates Bellarmine and just runs it up on them. Show no mercy to the little brother in state here. So I'll take Kentucky laying the 35.5, the big number.
Never said Bellarmine's going to win. I mean,
I know that, but I'm just saying I don't think Mark Pope. His seat isn't cooled off. I mean, that was a week ago. They were just talking about
a 28-point win, though, is still okay into an eyes of a Kentucky fan versus a bettor.
Well, I know, but I think Jane Quaintance is going to be the difference. I mean, he hasn't been in. He played 1 game in St. John's. He scored 66.
He'll be on minutes restriction, especially going into SEC play.
And they already had their one game. They already had their one game.
FYI, he only played 18 minutes. I bet he plays. That's the max he plays here. Maybe even less.
And the one game bump already.
But I will say, Trev, this is your classic Ken Palm system play for you because Ken Palm's got it at 25. This is 10 points over. I knew you were going to be on that Kentucky side, smashing Kentucky. I'll be on Bellarmine plus the points. I just think it's a sleepy spot for Kentucky going into Christmas break. I think it's a walk through the motions type of a game, like Huff said. I probably am not going to bet this because I could see Kentucky just try to run it up, show no mercy. However, I think taking the points is the right side here. If I'm going to bet it, I'll wait to bet it until tip because I just don't think this number goes down, in my opinion. It probably stays around the same. But if I can get an extra point or two, it's always good value. But yeah, I'll be on the Bellarmine side plus the points. I think Kentucky wins by 30.
All right. Game number 4 of the night. Ohio State's laying 26.5 against Grambling. Over-unders 151.5. Saw Ohio State play really good against UNC. They've picked it up. I mean, West Virginia, they played solid. Illinois, they played okay at. And they kind of haven't had a game against these low-end opponents, to say the least. I mean, more respect to Grambling. Pump Fake Pod loves Grambling State. especially this season and even last season. But I know Ohio State has a spot to kind of get back into it after playing a kind of a gauntlet of the mid P5 kind of schools, but definitely playing up to their competition, playing around their competition. And then the last time they kind of played down was Mount St. Mary's, and they won 113-60. But again, I think this is a sleepier spot here. Go through the motions. This Grambling State team, their offense has been super solid. And you know, they lost by 40 to Iowa State, but outside of that, give me Iowa State over Ohio State twice on Sundays. I think we see Grambling State here, plus the points, keep it in here, and Ohio State kind of loans it in, especially after a good fight against Villanova. And I think Grambling's offense will be just fine here in Value City Arena.
I like Ohio State to put up points. Ohio State loves getting down the rim or down the lane, getting shots at the rim. Grambling is a very high fouling team. They give up a lot of points at the free throw line. That fits right into how Ohio State wants to play. Not to mention Bruce Thornton's been a menace this year. Just been playing lights out. So I like Ohio State on the spread too, personally. But I'll probably be on their team total. I think they're probably going to push near 100 points at least in this one. Not to mention all the downhill driving they get and shots at the free throw line. I think the clock's going to be stopped. So I'll pivot to Ohio State team total over whatever that'll be. I think they score points in bunches in this one.
I'll tell you right now what it is. It is 88.5, 89.5.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Yes. Ohio State team total over big time.
Yeah, I don't. I think I wouldn't mind a over 151.5 here in this game. I think Grambling can be competitive on the offensive end. However, they should be able to put up points. You see Ohio State when they kind of are able to score a little bit. They somewhat lack a little bit of defensive prowess, and just kind of rely on getting whatever they want on the offensive end. I do see a problem with Grambling State not being able to defend within the paint on Ohio State. So I do think that Ohio State will be able to get whatever they want. I'll take the over full game over 151. I'm seeing 150.5 right now. I don't mind that at all. I think we see Ohio State put up points. Hopefully they do for Trev's sake. But I think Grambling State will be competitive. And, if both the caps of Huff and Trev are right, then that means that my over is going to hit because Grambling will keep it within the 26. Ohio State will go over that total, which will then make that total, the full game total, over as well. So,
love it. All right, halfway point. Florida Atlantic UCF over under is 162.5. I think this line is different now though.
It's 8.5, unless it just moved. But I got 8.5. Like 10 minutes.
159.5 is the over.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm going to be on
total. Sorry.
159.
Yeah, it already was down to 158.5. So people betting an under. I think that line movement's definitely fadeable. I'll take the over here for Florida Atlantic and UCF, who both teams like to run at pace. We've seen Florida Atlantic and UCF almost both teams in the top 50 for average possession length on offense. Defensively, though, they're pretty good teams. They can kind of slow you down on the defensive side. So we need these offenses to just prevail in that battle in that sense. But I think we'll be just fine. We've seen Florida Atlantic kind of just have a letdown spot against St. Mary's after just scoring around the hundreds consistently. And UCF been dominant as well. And they allowed 80 points to Florida Gulf Coast. I mean, I think they're well capable of allowing Florida Atlantic to score. And I think we see this game go over for the Owls in the night. So give me the over based on this possession length here. I got to go charge my phone real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I already bet UCF minus 8.5. Their size and length, I think, is going to cause problems for FAU. Not to mention FAU was just out in Galarraga Friday night. So late travel back across here. the country here, and then you got to go down to play in the bounce house. I know there's not going to be students there, but UCF has been really, really good this year. I mean, they've got wins. They played Vanderbilt really tough. They got wins over A&M, Pittsburgh, and then they've just dismantled all of these other teams that they've played. None of these have really been close. I mean, Oakland was a 4-point game, but other than that, Quinnipiac, Towson, Mercer, Florida Gulf Coast, these are all like 20-point wins. FAU, I love you, but you haven't been the same team from years past. Jacobs, I think, is still kind of. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's still trying to find his guys exactly to fit into the system to how he wants to play 100%. I think FAU will be competitive. I just don't know if they'll be able to play a full 40 minutes with UCF's size and athleticism, not to mention the experience. The older roster for UCF, I think that's really going to come into play here and have them ready to go. I mean, these guys have been here, done this for years. And now FAU, young roster, just playing Galarraga and flying back. Now you got to go down and play here. I think it's just going to be too much for a full 40 minutes. So I laid it with UCF minus the 8.5 here. Not to mention the 3-point line UCF can really take advantage of. If they're falling, I think they just run away with this. So I laid the 8.5 with UCF here. Some more chalk.
It's not in the bounce house. Just FYI. It's at State Farm.
Kissimmee, Florida, and Orlando.
Farm Fieldhouse. It's off campus. It's on ESPN Worldwide Events Center. Just FYI.
Whatever. That's fine with me. I don't care. I'll still take the better athletes playing on a neutral to be able to get rebounds and get to the rim and take away extra possessions. So still on UCF. Don't care. I think they win this game by 13.
Yeah, I'm on the over as well, over 1.5. I see points in this game. A little bit nervous for just being a neutral site game, but I really don't think it necessarily matters with two teams that play with a lot of pace. Florida Atlantic on the offensive side of the ball, they can really kind of hold their own. Defense is where they typically really kind of lack and have been shown to give up points. I mean, you look at 105-79 to Albany here just lately. So, I think that they're capable of putting up points, but they also give up points. And so I think that's also kind of plays to the hand of UCF as well. So I'll just take the over 159.5 and we'll ride that.
All right. Oh, yeah. Lindenwood already up to 3.5. Missouri State laying 3.5. Over-unders 144.5. A little interstate battle here. Sorry, I'm taking Lindenwood. Who wants to lay points with Missouri State? I'm sorry, they just had a good win. Beat Oral Roberts by 1 at home. I mean, maybe the Missouri State's the better roster, but Lindenwood off of a 6-game winning streak, given the teams that they were playing were not up to even speed to Missouri State for how bad they are. But laying this many points with the Missouri State team just doesn't sound fun in my opinion. Lindenwood's going to get tons of second chance opportunities here. They got a rebound advantage. I like Lindenwood's defense. I think it'll be just fine going into Springfield. I'll take Lindenwood plus the points as well. And but probably not betting this one. There's only 10 games. I think we'll see it. We'll probably bet. We'll probably bet it. There's only 10 games.
Yeah, shout out Dusty Bottoms. I didn't even know this. Nice Trail is in the portal for Lindenwood. So that's going to suck. I mean, this guy's 16, 36, 17, 15, 15, 13, 16, 12. He's putting up points. He's getting a lot of shots off. He's rebounding. He's getting 8, 6, 7, 9 rebounds, assists. I mean, he's doing everything for this team. So he's gone. That's going to take some time for them to figure that out. But I did take the over in this game already. Lindenwood is they are scoring points. Yes, he lost Futrell, but they're also giving up points. And their competition they've been playing here has not been incredible. UMKC, Northern Illinois, Eastern Illinois, Western Illinois, and then 2 D2 teams during this win streak here. So I think going and the last 3 have been at home. So hitting the road, playing a Missouri State team. Who's played some tough competition, and now you're going to have Lindenwood on the road playing a real team. I think they can get some points, but I think they're going to give it up too. So 145.5. I played the over. I also like Missouri State for a side, but just sticking with the total.
One game bump. My dog Franklin just came down. He loves these short yapper, disgusting plays. Good God. I mean, Lindenwood.
Yeah, this is I'll take Lindenwood as well. I think they're the better team in general. I don't even care if their best player is out. Kind of curious as to why. I mean, I'm guessing he's a senior, so he's only played 8 D1 games. I think that makes him eligible to redshirt. So I would assume that he's just entering the portal to redshirt, so he can basically put up his clip of him scoring 20 points a game and get to a higher level for next year. Kind of unfortunate, but that's what you get in this NIL portal era. But yeah, I'll be on Lindenwood plus the 3.5. I think that personally they're better than Missouri State. Missouri State at home, they haven't shown us anything for me to feel good about backing their side. Besides that 1 point win against Oral Roberts, I mean, they did beat UTRGV at home, but again, I've said before, 22-2 run to end that game to get that cover. I'll be on Lindenwood here. I think they play with a lot of fight. We'll get the 1 game bump of missing their best player, and we'll ride with the Lions here.
All right, Lions and Tigers and Bears. Oh my. UCLA laying 25.5 against UC Riverside. Over unders 152.5. UCLA, they've picked it up a little bit. Kind of ending non-conference here. This line's jumped down total-wise too. Another drop here. We're seeing the over/under at 148.5, 149.5 some places, and I would assume people are dropping it down due to the tempo of both teams, kind of in the lower half. But UCLA offensively has been super efficient, even with their slow pace. But to the contrary, UC Riverside defensively has been just an open book. Go right ahead is defense is what I like to coin the term as. So I think we see a fair amount of points here. And even if UCLA is in the 90s, UC Riverside should be able to fare just fine and score around the 50s. I'll take the over 149.5, 148.5. I'll wait as this number continues to drop down. I will wait and bet this a little bit too, and take the over for UCLA, UC Riverside. I think we see an actual pickup of offense here from a UCLA team that just proved that they could. 108 from Cal Poly. I think that they kind of double it up here, not a go through the motion spot, as we've seen UC Riverside defense just be absolutely putrid, giving up tons of points to everybody. So I think UCLA will be just fine being able to do that twice in a row with Cal Poly and UC Riverside here. So give me the over here, full game over.
Yeah, I like just isolating UCLA, the over 88. I've seen a flat 88 for a team total. They're going to be able to score. They've been putting up buckets, and we see Riverside gives up points. But Riverside also very turnover prone. UCLA very opportunistic and forcing turnovers. Going to get free runouts down there. Not to mention Riverside can foul you too and give it up. And inside they're kind of soft. So I think UCLA is going to be able to go have avenues to score, whether it's at the free throw line, turnovers, inside, outside. They've been shooting it really well. So I'll take UCLA. I'll just isolate them over 88 for a team total.
Yeah, I'll just lay it here with UCLA. Probably not going to bet this, but I think UCLA we'll just kind of want to take care of business here. Beat Cal Poly by 21 on Friday. I see them, running up the score a little bit and being able to, maybe get another 100 piece close to it. And I don't think that UC Riverside's offense is going to be able to put up a very formidable fight against the tough and feisty UCLA defense, especially with the pace that UCLA plays. So I think it's kind of a slugfest. So I'll take UCLA just to be able to suffocate them on the defensive end and then kind of get whatever they want on the offensive side of the ball.
All right, just a few left. Cal State Bakersfield at home against Idaho. Cal State Bakersfield is catching 4 here in Bakersfield. Weird court. Idaho, though, off of a tough win at Cal Poly, an overtime win, wins it by 3. Now they're going to Cal State Bakersfield. Cal State Bakersfield off of a good win against Nobel Peace Prize. They beat them 97-66. Trevor, what you got in this one? Are you taking the blue court here, or are you riding the Vandals that we were super high on in our Pump Fake Pod preview?
I like the Vandals. This line feels incredibly short. I mean, you've got a Bakersfield team that's coming here, lost 4 straight, not counting the D2 team, but they haven't looked amazing this year. Now they're only laying 4. You got Idaho, like you said, coming off of that tough road win at Cal Poly on Sunday. Then you got to go down to Bakersfield. I just, something just doesn't feel right, like to where this is a short line. I'm going to go with Bakersfield. I'm going to take a stab with that fucked up court and the FBI snooping around. Maybe there'll be some extra asses in seats since the FBI will need something to do at night after they're investigating this team in school all day. So I'll take Bakersfield with the 4 here. Catching the 4, maybe I'll even sprinkle a little bit of money line, but I'll wait and see what this line does. Hoping tomorrow around I don't know,
5.5
early morning lunch. It'll kind of be sitting around here, hovering around 4.5, not really moving too much. Kind of like oh gosh, what game was it today? I forget. St. Joe's Saturday.
4.5, by the way, too.
That's perfect. That's fine. Just let it do its thing. But I will be on Bakersfield. Give me that court, the FBI in the building, the whole shebang. I think they keep it close and are right there to win late.
Yeah, Bakersfield are nothing for me. I love this Idaho team. I think they're definitely the solid team, way better. But this line just kind of reeks. Hopefully, it's not a Texas Southern play where they're covering for most of it and don't cover that same 4.5 number and lose by like 5 or 6, however much they lost by.
Yeah, I'll be on Bakersfield here. I was on Idaho there on the road against Cal Poly there. I got that win in overtime. I think just a tough little spot for them. I know they made this trip down here. Quick little turnaround against the Bakersfield team who, I think is going to be able to be competitive at home. Maybe they are able to get it done offensively, Idaho, but I think defensively they'll let Bakersfield hang around. So I didn't mind the over either. But I think the points in Bakersfield is probably the play here. So I'll be on the plus 4.5, kind of wait and see what it does, since it looks like it's maybe moving in the direction of Bakersfield being able to get some more points. But this will probably be a bet for me. I'll bet the blue court there and back to the Roadrunners here at home before Christmas break.
Oh, God. St. John's is laying 24.5 against Harvard. Over-unders 144.5. This St. John's team is so bad, but this feels like maybe a smash spot for them personally. I think we see Harvard have been pretty fake and tough. A lot of fake toughness on Harvard's end for sure. Maybe only on the brain side, to say the least. But, I know this St. John's team, nothing to write home about, especially to start this season. But Harvard off of almost a 30-point win against Holy Cross, scoring 80 points. And they really haven't walked in and faced anybody up to this caliber like a St. John's team. And now that St. John's kind of gets a low-end Harvard team who they really haven't been able to beat up on a team since Bucknell. Iona, I guess. They beat up on Iona. Iona did cover, though. But I think this is a smash spot for for St. John's. I think they get it done and win almost by 30. So I'll lay it here with St. John's here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would lay it more than anything. I mean, I want it over. That's a low total. I think Harvard probably or St. John's probably pushes towards the 90s. In this game, Harvard, can we get 60 points out of you? I mean, there's spots where they popped up. I mean, Penn State's Penn State, but they put up 80, and then they've got games where they play Bryant and they win 56-53. They're so inconsistent. St. John's defense isn't great, but maybe I'll take a stab with the St. John's team total. Coming in pissed off. This is a spot where they haven't played any of these shit teams in a minute. So, you know what? I'll just lay it with St. John's. I'll lay it. It's in Carneseca off of a loss to Kentucky. Rick Pitino's got to be pissed. I think they come out and just fuck them up. So let's just do that. I'll just take St. John's, laying the 24.5 here tomorrow in Carneseca.
Yeah, I'll lay it here as well with St. John's. I think off that tough loss where they gave up a bunch of points there in the second half, 53 points after they were leading that game by 7 at the halftime. Kentucky just routed them there in the second half. I think Pitino's going to be on their ass, and they're going to come out and be able to take care of business here, lock down Harvard, but also put up a lot of points. It's in Carneseca, so I always love the gym there and backing them there in Carneseca. So I'll be on the Red Storm here, laying it with the points.
Morgan State's catching 22.5 at LMU. Oh, man, is this a spot LMU finally just drills somebody? 22.5 with LMU is crazy, but I mean, they just beat North Alabama by 34, sorry. Eastern Washington, Arkansas Pine Bluff earlier this year, they beat by 20. UTEP was a 13-point win. They beat Troy by double digits. I mean, lost 3 straight prior to that North Alabama game. Now you're staying at home, and Morgan State's doing their usual world tour. They were just home actually a week ago or 10 days ago, but I'll take, man, playing 22.5 with LMU is ridiculous. Maybe like an LMU team total. This could be a spot where they just score at will and just keep running it up. So give me an LMU team total over. I don't want anything to do with Morgan State backing them or believing in them to do anything positive. So I'll take the team total.
Yeah, I'll back Morgan State here. Don't know if I'll bet this one, so I'll root for you. But I just don't think Loyola Marymount's a team that can lay this many points. I think, if anything, they're going to thrive on defense. But we saw they only beat up on Arkansas Pine Bluff by 22, which I feel like is a pretty similar opponent to Morgan State. And we know Morgan State's offense is actually pretty solid. I mean, efficiency, maybe not their best subject, but we know that they're able to score at times. This isn't one of the worst bye games that Morgan State's played this season. So, I don't trust the Morgan State defense to put my money on it, but I'll take them plus the points going against Loyola laying that many. No bet for sure. But
yeah.
I could be talked into a bet if Elliott's betting it maybe, but I don't think I'm going to bet Morgan State.
I'm betting Morgan State, but I'm betting a different angle. I'm betting their team total under, actually. I think that Loyola Marymount, their defense is really good. You look at Morgan State, where are they good at? They're good at home. They put up a lot of points at home. When you look at they play on the road, 64 against San Francisco, 50 California, 49 DePaul, 56 Old Dominion. I guess 70 at Georgetown, 72 at Mercyhurst. But here as of lately, last 4 home games, putting up probably an average of 60-ish points. I don't mind taking the team total under. I think that's going to be probably around 63.
62 and it'll be 62 and a half. Yep.
63.5 maybe is what I'm seeing. So I don't mind that. I think that LMU is definitely going to want to slow down the pace. I think they're going to, defensively can kind of shut Morgan State down. And I think that, Morgan State's lucky to get 60. So I will take the team total under for Morgan State.
I think that's a great play. If you do end up betting this, I'll be rooting for you there. You got to take that now because that number will be down to the low 60s for sure. All right, final game of the night and final game for just a little bit. Seton Hall laying 2.5, 3.5 now against Villanova. Over-unders 129.5. If you didn't catch the earlier part of the show, well, you better go back and listen to it. We've got some fire data from our Rithmm partner, and he loved taking a little high variance play in Villanova, and I don't blame him. I think we see a Seton Hall team off of a good win. They've won 5 wins in a row now. They've won 11 of their last 12, so a hot start for Shaheen Holloway, and we really haven't seen them lay an egg at home. They've been drilling teams at home, and maybe not playing up the competition, I guess, there in Newark, but now they kind of welcome Villanova, who can be a little stagnant, likes to slow it down, be a little pesky, and I think where we see Villanova's threes being an angle here. So, Villanova looked really good against Wisconsin, got it done in a neutral. They looked good against Pittsburgh. I think we see a Villanova team that can play both sides of the ball, which fares well with the Seton Hall's solid defense. So, yeah, I like Villanova plus the points, but we'll ride Villanova money line with our man Brian.
Yeah, I'll be on points and money line. As much as I love Seton Hall this year, I mean they're due for an L. You got Willard returning back to Seton Hall here. Not to mention Seton Hall's coming in. Kansas State, Rutgers, Providence wins 2 of those on the road. Now you're back home. Villanova's played good. Michigan busted their ass, but they did that to everybody. They played BYU really tough, and other than that, Pittsburgh and Wisconsin were easy winners. I know they blew that game to Wisconsin, but they came back in overtime and didn't completely collapse. They pulled their heads out of their asses and got that done by double digits in overtime. So I think that was a little scary. I think they got that out of the way. I think, this team's really coming together, and Willard back at his old stomping grounds. I think it's a little extra juice in this one. So
yep.
Seton Hall, yes, laying points, not my biggest a big fan of that. I laid it with Rutgers, but we already know how bad Rutgers is. So them laying points here, I'm not a fan. Had they been catching points, it might be different, but I'll take Willard and Villanova to get this one done. I've got 1.5 units on the spread, and then whenever the money line drops, I'll probably throw another unit on that also. So this will be a bigger bet for me tomorrow with Villanova, and the fact that Brian liked it was just and Rithmm just another icing on the cake.
Elliot, Carrie, take us home.
Yeah, nope. I'll be on as I'm a Wildcat lover, obviously. So I don't mind backing another Wildcat here in Villanova. I think it's either going to be a really good win for us, and they win by 5 to 10 points, or they might lose by 10 to 15 if their threes aren't falling. Kind of like what Brian was saying, high variance game, but I'll back the threes here with Villanova, and I'll take that. Especially with this is conference opener for Villanova. Seton Hall, they just opened up their conference play, feeling good about themselves against beating Providence on the road. Now they're feeling themselves a little bit, and I think maybe might be a little too overconfident here, and I think Villanova can jump up and get them here. So I'll just Villanova on the money line, 2.5, whatever. I think if it's gonna hit, the money line's gonna hit, in my opinion. And now that I say that, Villanova's gonna lose by like 1 or 2 or somehow. But I really think that they're either gonna lose or they're either gonna lose by 10, 8 to 10. Or more, or they're going to win it outright. So I'll be on Villanova money line.
Yep, the variance play there. Well, guys, episode here for Christmas Adams kind of picks, December 23rd. Again, no episode until maybe an impromptu episode for one game Saturday, maybe a Saturday night. We'll see what's under the hood, but certainly normal time, Sunday, December 28th, Monday the 29th, Tuesday the 30th, no episode New Year's, back the 1st and 2nd. And mark your calendars, circle it now, January 2nd, big episode for the Pump Fake Pod. Friday night, mega slate, going over that whole Saturday. I think we already got 130 plus games that Saturday, January the 3rd. So it'll be a long night. We'll get started early. Grab your brewskis, grab whatever you need. Circle your calendars, though. 2026 starting off with a bang with a Friday night show going over the Saturday mega slate for January 3rd. So January 2nd, mark your calendars. But outside of that, it'll be a nice little break off, guys. Definitely going to miss you talking it up. I don't know what I'll be doing. When I go out with my friends, it's like trying to talk about Canisius, trying to talk about Ryder VCU. Got to showcase Prairie View A&M with my friends tonight. It was fun. But always good chopping up all these teams with you, and fantastic episode with Rithmm and our partners. And it's been such a great year, to say the least. And, keep going. We're going to keep this Pump Fake Pod rolling. And it's always a pleasure steering and ruddering the ship with you guys.
What's the Rithmm play? We just going to do Villanova or?
Let's do. I'm down for either Army laying it, or we'll because Villanova's kind of more of that variance play, taking the money line. So
Army works for me. I like Army.
Let's do Army -7.5. 5 days in a row. Rithmm play of the day. We also gave out another one with the high variance plus money play. So Rithmm play of the day. Army -7.5. Fantastic stuff, guys. 11 game slate, kind of saying goodbye. No Christmas, but guys, like I said, it's been fun steering the ship with you guys. Continuing rocking in the chat. Prayers to Thomas Skinner as well too. Definitely thinking about you. And as Elliot said, fuck cancer. We never like cancer. It's such a horrible thing, and lost so many good people to it. But Thomas, you're a fighter. Sending you so many prayers, and we're gonna rally behind you, and hope you get better, man. And never apologize for getting personal. That's what we're here for. We're all here in the chat. We're all humans, and I think around the holidays, especially, we always need to recognize that. But even on a random April 9th day or July 11th day, whatever day, doesn't have to be around the holidays. We should always be thankful for each other in this community that we're building, and that's what I'm talking about: steering the ship and ruddering the ship. Been a fun time with you guys so far, gentlemen, and really enjoyed it.
Yep, it's been fun. Merry Christmas to everybody. Best of luck tomorrow, and see you on the flip side.
Yes, sir. See you guys soon. Enjoy your time off. Most likely see you Sunday on my end, but maybe see you before then. Peace and love, everybody. Yes, sir, Danny.
Toodles.
Merry Christmas, everyone.